afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us once again for another episode of Illustrado Go Live. And our topic for today is...
Today we have a very, very interesting topic for you. If you're looking at migrating to other places, we have a lot of countries for you today. So if you want to know more about that, you have to stay tuned. Our episode today is Should I Stay or Should I Go?
And hello, Canada and other options. We're loaded with so much information, so stick around with us. Thank you for joining us at Illustrado Go Live. Editor-in-Chief here at Illustrado Magazine, and with me is, of course...
I'm the Features Editor of Illustrado Magazine.
And we're here at the fabulous Le Méridien Dubai Hotel in the very quaint Sukhothai authentic Thai restaurant where we're feeling all sorts of crazy rich Asians
Yes, we're
today.
jumping into the bandwagon of the hype, crazy rich Asians.
We're not promoting the movie, but we just feel like that today, right, Ali?
Why ever not?
Exactly. And, you know, it's a very interesting episode. And like all things to us now Filipino, we're going to empower you with information today. But before we go to the good stuff, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this episode, namely Liali Jewelry, the Le Méridien Dubai Hotel, and Giver, your marketplace for sharing.
Today's woman wears Liali.
Need something? Don't buy, get it free instead. Welcome to Giver. Everything is free, just pay delivery. Have useful stuff gathering dust in your closet? Don't trash it, give it away. Just good old giving and taking, made easy for you. That's good for the heart, and good for the planet. Giver, your friendly marketplace for sharing. Give and take for a better world.
So thank you for being here with us. Wherever you are in the world, please say hello, put in a comment. I think we're running another fabulous contest today.
Yes, so hold on to that because we're giving away a very, very interesting prize later on. So you have to catch that and tune in until the end of the program.
But what's the prize? Can we tell them now?
Okay, so
all right, yeah.
Since you insist, we will be giving away one voucher worth 500 dirhams. That's care of Sukhothai here at Le Méridien Dubai. All you have to do is
answer the question later on, right?
Answer the question later on. We're gonna give you the question. So yeah, just participate in the comment section, and yeah, we'll give you more details in a few.
And how appropriate you giving a prize in Sukhothai Alwi? Because I think I think Alwi is 90% Thai.
90% Thai. No, because I have always loved Thailand, specifically Bangkok. So I'm always there. Food is amazing, culture is amazing, people are friendly, shopping is very cheap.
And you can sample some of those good eats here at this
Yes.
awarded restaurant here
Yes.
in the Meridian Village.
Speaking of the eats, their Sukhothai is currently running a promo. So they have the curry promo. Curry served with coconut rice or steamed jasmine rice for
Now-
just
now I'm going
100.
hungry.
Yes,
109
it's
dirhams,
lunchtime.
yeah? It's
So
lunchtime.
you guys eating lunch out there, hello. It's only for 109 dirhams. Your choice of red, green, or masaman curry.
Masaman curry.
Masaman
yeah.
curry. And the promo, you still have time because the promo is running until the 31st of August.
You told me that you know how to speak Thai, so maybe you can wow us with your Thai speaking skills.
I know how to ask for discount in
Okay.
Thai.
Wow,
'Cause
that's a good skill.
Yes, you ask for a fast
Okay.
ni taura. It's like how much is this? And
Okay,
then-
so teach us then.
yes, and you have to say like peng mak. Like peng mak is like so expensive.
Bang Mac.
Peng mak. So you say like look no, I might have like just give me a little discount.
So natural. Say that again.
Look no, I might have.
I can't. I cannot. Right. So anyway, very good topic today. If you're dying to migrate elsewhere, right? There are so many options for you because I feel like right now the world is so globalized. So
Yes.
people are moving from place to place. It's not just about staying in one country anymore. And I guess the world is your oyster, and that's what we're going to be discussing
And I think
today.
everyone's there's a point in our lives where we ask ourselves, should I stay or should I go?
I know. It's a good question,
Right?
right? So are you staying or are you going?
Well, I think for now I'm staying. Dubai has been home for me for the last 3 years,
Okay.
and it's been good.
All right.
So for now, yes, because I know there are Filipinos out there saying like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to Dubai, try it out for a year or two, and then you find yourself
Right.
here staying forever."
3 years. This is typical, by the way, because I mean we've been here for the last 28 years. We're like we feel like the lumang tao of Dubai.
Lumang tao of Dubai, wow.
That's how we refer to ourselves. But every time we meet new friends and they say I'm just here for 2 years, and then they end up staying here for 10, and 15 years after we're seeing each other still. So I guess it's typical to get used to the place and somehow stick to the place, but it doesn't mean that you're here forever, right? So that's what the information that we're going to be giving you today. But before we get into that, again, I want to reiterate that it's not about us trying to encourage you to leave the Philippines. If you're in the Philippines right now, if you're happy where you are, that's fine. But for a lot of people who feel more like global citizens and feel like they have to move somewhere else, we're going to empower you with information. But before that, I think we have some greetings, Alvi.
We have some greetings. We want to say hi to all our viewers, especially to Jamie Ivy Limbo, who's watching
Hey,
now.
Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. We miss you. Dionisio Marina Reyes is also watching. Haven Hamilton. Mga pangmayaman na naman na.
Haven Hamilton Villapando.
Don Almar is
Hi,
also
guys.
watching.
Thank you for being
Summer
with us.
Montefalco is also watching from the Philippines.
Hello, Summer.
So yeah, if you're asking yourself the question, should I stay or should I go? This is the perfect program for you. And about the competition that we are running, we are giving one voucher worth 500 dirhams care of Sukhothai here at La Meridian. All you have to do is answer the question.
What's the question?
The question is, if you're going to move to another country, where would you go or where would you be?
And why?
And why?
Right.
And use the hashtag SukhothaiDXB and hashtag La Meridian Dubai.
Right. So share with us where you want to go and settle down and why. And hopefully you might win a prize today, right?
Yeah, you can bring 3 friends with you when you dine here at Sukhothai.
Wow.
Again, here at La Meridian, the village, Dubai.
That's a lot of curries and pad thais and all
Yes,
that, right?
amazing.
Amazing. But anyway, we asked a couple of fabulous Filipinos from around the globe on where they want to settle. And here's what they have to say in Usapang Illustrado.
Hello, Illustrado magazine. My name is Gino Vicente, and I'm a makeup artist based in Hong Kong. And my answer to the question is, if I'm going to stay or go somewhere else, well, I need to stay in Hong Kong. I'm very happy and very contented in where I'm right now, and my career is doing really good. And I found really good friends here in Hong Kong, and this is my new home. And I'm staying here, but I'm still open to what the universe will bring me. Just go with the flow.
Good afternoon. Having lived in Singapore for almost 20 years now, I would not want to move to another foreign country. Singapore is safe, secure. It has a very reliable public transport system, and it is just about a 3.5-hour plane ride away from the Philippines. So if I were to move out of Singapore, it will just be to go back to our home country, the Philippines. Thank you.
Kamusta po kayong lahat dyan sa UAE at sa mga Filipino sa buong mundo? I am currently in Italy for a working vacation project. The photos are almost complete and hopefully we exhibit early next year here in Italy. I am grateful to my host country, France. Its beauty has been an inspiration, and through this, I discovered my talent. I am an artist in progress, still discovering for a perfect place to hone my talent. Finding that special niche where I will settle. Thank you.
Ang dream ko talaga is to travel around the world. Like, makapunta ako sa Buckingham Palace ng London, or maybe ma-experience ko yung autumn at winter ng South Korea. And I think I am in the right place para matupad yung mga pangarap na yon. It is actually happening now dahil andito ako sa isa sa mga dream destinations ko. Masaya ako na andito ako sa Dubai, building my career and gaining more experience. Naniniwala ako na ang UAE is a very promising place, and working here is a great platform para makapagbukas pa ng mas maraming opportunities para sa akin. And excited ako to what is ahead of me.
Hello there! I can't imagine myself as robotology while out of Japan, but as I didn't expect to be what I wanted to be here in Japan, I think there's still great possibility that I could continue to flourish as a vlogger artist somewhere else. So I would go to the Scandinavian region, Sweden or Finland in particular. I think they are beautiful countries, peaceful. The mere mentioning of these countries reminds me of ice cream and cheese and balloons, for reasons I don't know. And I think they are not popular destinations among Pinoys. So there are a lot of things to discover and to eventually share with our people. And this region is part of Europe, so it would be very easy to hop from one wonderful country to another. Rheumatology pa more. Thank you.
I love our people.
Yes.
Isn't that fabulous? These people are so great. I mean, Gino Aldocente from Hong Kong, one of the top Filipino makeup artists anywhere, bar none. He's based in Hong Kong now.
Easily.
He used to be based here in Dubai, and we had a chance to work with him for several years here in Illustrado. Gino, we miss you. We're so glad you're doing so well in Hong Kong. Of course, we had Lailani Johnson in Singapore. Ryan Arbilo, the artist and photographer based in France, still open to where he might want to settle someday.
And of course, we have a representative from the UAE. We have Ian Rogiron.
UAE, right?
UAE, yes.
And allow me to just say this. I love Roberto Robatology Ilagan in Japan. Robatology, if you're there, please say hi. You made my day. You are so special. You're so special.
Rheumatology pa more.
Rheumatology pa more. I know he said he wanted to settle somewhere in the Scandinavian countries because it reminded him of what? Cheese, ice cream, and balloons?
Cotton candies.
Well, that's a good reason to settle somewhere. Right. I think we have some greetings now to read, Al.
Yeah, before we proceed, we'd like to say hi to Beethoven Filomeno, Cheryl Bakay Agbing, Lellery Marine, Junimar Geka, Enrique Yamzon, Honey de la Cruz, Chay Raagas, Angel Villar de Jesus. Hello to you guys. Thank you for tuning in with us today.
And thank you for always supporting us. Now, we've talked to people, and they were talking about where they might want to stay in the future. Now we're going to show you a feature on 5 countries that Filipinos can migrate to. Watch this.
Okay, those are the 5 countries that we Filipinos can migrate to or visit. Before we get deeper into that, I'd like to remind everyone that we have a giveaway running today. Again, we are giving one voucher worth 500 dirhams care of Sukhothai here at the Meridian, Dubai. All you have to do is answer the question: if you're going to migrate or move to another country, where would it be and why? The details are pinned in the comment section, so if you need to know more about that, how you can join the competition, how you can join the conversation, just look for the pinned comment and all the details will be there.
And don't forget to hashtag Sukhothai Dubai and also Le Meridian Dubai, right? And 5 countries where Filipinos can migrate to. Those are not the only countries, of course. But let's make the differentiation here. We're talking about countries where you can actually earn a permanent residency that could lead to citizenship. So this is not just about having a working visa or a visit visa or anything of that sort. This is a path towards permanency. So you can settle down and have a family there and call it your forever home, right? And what's surprising in these countries is that typically we think that it's so hard, right, Ali? But when you go through the requirements for these countries, when we were doing our research, I was surprised. Like, for example, you can apply for citizenship in Singapore if you have permanent residency for about 3 years.
Okay, big question there is, and I think this is also a question for a lot of Filipinos out there watching. When I apply or when I get a citizenship from another country, does it mean that I have to renounce my citizenship as a Filipino?
Not necessarily. There are some countries that allow you to have dual citizenship, like Canada and the US, so you can maintain your Philippine passport and at the same time earn your Canadian passport or US passport. Some countries like Singapore, for example, once you get into Singapore citizenship, they would want you to remove your other passport. So you're only Singaporean, you're not Filipino in paper anymore. So you have to be very careful what you want to do. And, it's not always a bed of roses. That's why we wanted to make sure that all these people talk about the good things and the bad things, because it's not always easy. Right?
Yeah.
Migrating to another country is not the easiest thing to do. It has its benefits, whether it's for the lifestyle or provisions for education and healthcare and all that. But it doesn't mean that it's for everybody, right?
And I heard before we move on, because the next up we're gonna be featuring our beautiful artist for our Illustrado scrapbook. But before we go there, I have another question, because we were talking about this off air a while ago. There was a kind of like a heated topic.
Right.
From a well-known attorney back home.
Yeah.
Would you like to share this one?
I know. Okay. Yeah. Again, we want to say that if you're in the Philippines right now, we're not saying you should go anywhere else, because if you're happy there, fine, well and good, right? Everybody's got their own opinion. It's a very globalized world. You can choose wherever you want to be. There was this video that went viral so many years back, and it was a very prominent lawyer in the Philippines talking about Filipinos going abroad. And she said, I can't remember the exact words, but it went like this, that if you go out of your country, it's like you're a traitor and you don't love your country anymore. And I think I beg to disagree. I mean,
okay. What's your take on this?
I felt hurt by that. I mean, after being 28 years outside the Philippines, it doesn't mean I am less Filipino or anything, because in fact, I felt more Filipino when I went out, because I have a different appreciation for the country now, as opposed to being there and you don't feel the difference, but it doesn't mean that when you're outside the country that you cannot help the Philippines.
That's the same case with me. I've never felt more Filipino after moving here, because I feel like there's a need to represent your tribe, your own blood, your own country in a more global perspective.
That's a very good point, because the Filipinos who are outside the country, they're the ambassadors of goodwill for the Philippines. So there is a value also to being out there and spreading your culture and spreading the Filipino goodness everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And talking about goodness, let's greet some people.
Yeah, saying hi to our Illustrado fans and friends. Olga Barcelona is watching. Teresita M. Hirakawa.
Hi, Teresita.
Based in Japan.
She's my old classmate, based in Japan. Hello, Japan. Thank you for joining us today.
Saying hello to Dennis Dalisay, Idan Agarao. Rodston Estrellado is also watching. Steve Patrick Moore.
Hi, Steve.
And Rian Miranda.
From Riyadh in Saudi
Riyadh.
Arabia.
Wow.
So thank you guys for joining us, and we'd like to thank the people who participated in 5 countries that Filipinos can migrate to. Pearl Jacob in Sweden, Ivy Jenkins from the UK, Jesus Turla from Australia, Gladys Gasakop and Beverly Jones in Singapore, and Ayn Benitez, New Zealand, and Elma Sanchez Irving from the USA. By the way, we're going to be posting all these stories on our website very soon. All of the things that we feature here in our live stream are going to be featured on the website. So watch out for those articles because you will have so much more information from those features. And what's next, Ali?
Yeah, now we're going to be featuring our very, very talented artist in our Illustrado scrapbook. So watch.
That was Illustrado scrapbook with our fabulous Filipino photographers from everywhere in the world. We had Jason Burgos from Dubai, Roger Alfonso from Dubai, Emmanuel Del Rosario also from Dubai. But wherever you are, if you're a talented photographer or you know of any talented photographer, please send us samples of their work, and who knows, we might feature you in our scrapbooks session.
Yeah, we love featuring Filipino talent. And speaking of, we'd like to say hi to the working girls out there. If you are
Working girls
who are having lunch in their pantry right now, maybe. Yeah, saying hi to you because I want to share this because Liali is, I mean, like for girls who are working, it's kind of like hard to dress up every day.
I know, right?
And to accessorize,
it's always an issue.
It's an issue, but you can actually invest in accessories and jewelries, and you don't have to pay full.
All right.
And
okay.
Liali is doing that payment scheme right now.
Okay.
So you can pay in staggered, in 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months.
Okay.
And you can actually
useful.
avail the jewelry already.
Yeah.
So wear it now and pay it later. For more details, you can visit Liali Jewelry on Facebook or Instagram. Or look for their website.
And thank you, Liali, for supporting us all these years, guys. Help us support our sponsors. You need any jewelry, please visit Liali Jewelry. And right now, we're going to be talking about It's What I Do. It's about Pinoy progress in the workplace.
Yeah,
and
another working girl.
Not another working girl. He's in fact a student. It's the first time we're featuring a student in It's What I Do.
Student.
He's an exchange student, and he's also the Brisbane International Student Ambassador.
Wow.
Right? So, Rafael Teodoro, he's studying to be a nurse. And, he's doing a lot of significant things. Apparently, he's got 4 jobs and 6 volunteer positions in Brisbane right now. So, very hardworking Filipino. I think he is a testament to the hard work and ethics that we always put in whatever we do. So, you're going to learn more about Rafael Teodoro on our website. Thank you for joining. It's What I Do, Rafael. And now we're also going to be featuring a very talented Filipina who is based in Toronto. And watch this.
Hi, my name is Ali Rasul, and I'm a comedian, writer, and performer based in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. I moved to Canada about 12 years ago to study at McGill University in Montreal, and since then I've moved to Toronto for work. Currently, I am the inclusion director at the Bad Dog Comedy Theater, and what that means is I do a lot of work making sure that the theater and the work that we put on there is reflective of a rich diversity and is accessible to most people, or if ideally to all, realistically to most. I also perform and create work with an arts collective called the Tita Collective. So we're a group of multidisciplinary Filipino artists. So some of us are in musical theater, some of us are comedians, some of us are recording artists, and together we create stories in the way of shows, mostly theater. So far we've produced Tawa, the Tawa Comedy Festival, to celebrate the Filipino Heritage Month here in Toronto. We just celebrated our first one, and that was a really good showing of young Filipino talent telling stories to an audience of people of different ages, and not just Filipinos. Currently, I'm writing a play with the support of the Toronto Arts Council, and it's a story of two Filipino women who come from different places, so literally different places from the Philippines, literally different economic backgrounds, but they find each other and enjoy a friendship together. So as you can tell, storytelling is very important to me because I find that stories connect the past, present to the future, and is a really good way to preserve our values and our culture. It's, I think, important, and it honors sort of like our journey and celebrates the impact of the global Filipino, the impact that we continue to have throughout the world. So so I really encourage everyone, just tell stories in whatever way you can, either through music, around the dinner table, at parties. It's time for us to really own and tell the world how awesome the global Filipinos are, and that we're here. Okay, that's me. Right, bye.
So this is what we were talking about earlier, Alwi, how Filipinos can actually do something good for the country out there. So these young Filipinos are really a good example of great ambassadors of the Philippines. Rafael Teodoro in Brisbane in Australia, and of course Alia Rasul doing what she does best, being an artist, comedian, and performer. Being a tita. I love that.
Collective.
So
it's very
Alia Rasul and her team in Toronto, they have what is called a Tita Collective. And they spread Filipino culture and make sure that it is not forgotten by through storytelling and comedy. And they just had a recent Tawa Festival, which is tremendous. So what these guys are doing out there is really, really amazing, right?
Representing the country in a really, really good way.
Represent, right?
Yes.
And we love the name Tita Collective. Alia, if you're listening out there, thank you for joining us. And Rafael Teodoro, thank you again. And if you guys know of any people who need to be featured in It's What I Do, you can always message us, right? And
our next video will be about immigrant life in Canada.
Speaking about Canada,
Before that, we'd like to say hi to our viewers, our Illustrado friends and fans. Saying hi to Jarel Ariola, Darwin Bleza, Joy Halili is watching, Eva Barrios, Agnes Briggs, Yael Garcia in KSA, and also Agnes Merelid.
Agnes Merelid is the Swedish ambassador
to
the Filipino community. So I guess if you have any questions about settling down in Sweden, drop it in there and we'll make sure that Agnes, please help us out, right? Right. So moving on to Canada. And yeah, there's always this question, how is life in Canada really?
If you're curious, watch this video.
Watch this video.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Beth and my husband Sunith. Narito po kami sa magandang view ng Muskoka, Ontario.
Hi, I'm Sunith, and I'm not Filipino, but I've been married to Beth for the longest time. So when Lalaine asked us to speak about our experiences coming here to Canada, we're more than happy to share a few nuggets with you. So I think the first thing that we'd like to talk about is, the first thing that struck us is the dignity of labor. And we sort of realized that, you know, no matter what job you do, it's sort of people appreciate you for what you're doing. They respect you for the work that you're doing. Most of the CEOs out here in Canada have started out as newspaper boys, for example, newspaper delivery boys. The other thing that struck us as we were growing, as our family was growing, our young kids out here, was the benefits of free healthcare and free education. So that you cannot, you cannot sort of overemphasize the value of a free education and a good quality education, mind you, as well as the healthcare system here, which is a safety net. You know, should anybody, it doesn't matter whether you're employed or not, you still get these benefits. It's all based on equal accessibility to all the facilities. And I think that's something that we welcome. I think that's a strong point, or like a magnet for any new Canadian or any new immigrant who wants to come to Canada as a new Canadian.
Ang maidadagdag ko lang po, ang isang naging problema namin nung kami dumating dito ay hindi po kami sanay ng walang katulong, but we kinda manage it po. So, dumating ako rito, kasama ko ang tatlo kong anak, almost 21 years ago. But ang masasabi ko po ay napakasaya ko dahil nag-migrate ako sa Canada. It's really a beautiful country. Oo po, maginaw, pero may heater naman po. So, ang kagandahan po dito sa Canada ay ang culture na maging ang anak nyo ay maging independent, responsable, and then to live in a simple life and to embrace life and environment is so good. Wala pong regret sa pag-migrate ko dito. Mahirap po kung sa mahirap, pero masasabi ko po, napakaganda po ng Canada at nagpunta po kami rito dahil po sa mga bata. At ngayon nakikita ko po na ang mga anak ko ay nakatapos na ng pag-aaral. Also, ang aking bunso anak na si Mika. Tatlo po anak ko, si Carlos na he's a budding chef, at ang aking po pangalawang anak si Miguel, tapos lang po ng nursing. At ang aking bunsong anak na si Mika ay pumapasok po ng third year university. And it's so much opportunity for the kids here in Canada. Yun lang po masasabi ko. I hope na come here. It's a safe country. It's a beautiful country. Yun lang po masasabi ko. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
So those were our friends from Toronto, Beth Aguilar and Sunith Lobo, who used to live in Dubai. They're ex-Leo Burnett, and they've been staying in the country for some time now, and they're Canadian citizens, right? By the way, happy birthday, Beth. We know that you're celebrating your birthday today, so we hope you're having a tremendous time. What a great reality check there, because they're talking about the good stuff and the bad stuff also. Yeah, and I think one of the most important things that they've mentioned there, apart from the weather that could be daunting, is that a lot of Filipino families have grown up and are used to the idea of having a nanny back home, di ba? Sanay tayo na mayroong tumutulong sa atin lagi sa bahay, right? But the thing is, when you move to these countries, wala na tayong ganitong klaseng support. You know, we don't have this kind of support system anymore. So that's probably one of the the serious things that people have to work on. Your kids have to grow independently. Hindi pa pwedeng umasa sa mga nannies lang or their yaya. So, that's a great point. And we're going to drill down more on living in Canada. But before that, we'll just take a minute to talk about Giver, your friendly marketplace for sharing, one of our sponsors also. With Giver, you can get stuff for free, just pay for delivery, and you can give away stuff that you don't need. So Giver is actually a platform where you can put your old things that you don't need anymore, or maybe you bought something that you can't really use.
That is just gathering dust in your closet.
It's just gathering dust in your closet. So just put it there. If somebody requests for it, you can approve it as you like it, and then it will get taken from you by the courier, and it will be delivered to the person. All the person has to do is to pay for delivery. So isn't that great?
And it always feels good to give.
Yeah.
Right?
And take mindfully. Right.
Mindfully. And it's good for the earth, good for the heart, good for the community.
And good for the wallet.
Yeah.
So please join Giver. It's at giver.net, right? And some more greetings, Alwi?
Some more greetings. We want to say hi to Quay Evano, Rafi Piscos, Jovi Tuanya is also watching.
Abu Dhabi. Hello, Jovi. Yeah.
Cecile Smago
from Germany.
In Germany.
Hi, Germany.
Jimmy is watching from London. And he said this is his favorite show and he'd always sneak in his work just to watch us. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for watching us, Jimmy.
Bobby Carella is watching.
Bobby Carella posted a message. She's looking for us here at the hotel. Bobby, move over to Sukhothai. We're here. Please join us, right?
And since since the video that we showed is about migrating to Canada, later on, guys, you have to stick around. We are talking to immigrating consultants from the immigration office. So if you have questions about moving to Canada, they are the perfect people to answer that. So
definitely
stick around, guys.
And we have another couple talking about life in Canada. This time they're going to be talking about the 5 best things about settling down in Canada. We have David and Noralyn from Winnipeg.
Hello, my name is David Pua.
And I'm Noralyn Pua. We both migrated here from the Philippines 27 years ago and now resides in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
And we were excited to share with you what we think the 5 best thing about living here in Canada. The first thing is residency. We have a place to call our home and our country. Secondly, acquiring a standard high school diploma is free.
Another thing is a wonderful health system. Most medical expenses are covered and clinics are so easily accessible. If you have a scratch, go to the ER and get a free Band-Aid.
The 4th best thing about being Canada is that everywhere you go is multicultural. You have the freedom to express any culture or belief system you follow. Lastly, we find the politeness of Canadian residents to be the best. Everywhere you go, somewhere will say thank you, excuse me, or please. The attitude here is so kind and respectful, it cannot be compared. If you're interested in migrating to Canada, we would advise you, first of all, have patience. Don't be scared of the changes and let time tell if this is the right place for you and your family.
If you need help for any situation, there are many resources available in Canada for you. Even people on the street are willing to give helping hands or advice to anyone who is in need. As for the snow situation, don't fret. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's definitely gets cold, but that's okay. You have excuses to go shopping and get new winter clothes. Don't be ashamed to start from scratch in terms of your career or school life. Think of it as a new opportunity to have a clean slate and start fresh. In time, you will reach the goals that you have set out to accomplish.
Finally, we want to encourage you all that you can do it. Have a faith and strength if you plan to migrate in Canada. As Illustrado says, taas noo Filipino, kaya natin to.
That's all from us today. Canada is a beautiful place to live. We can assure you that. God bless.
God bless.
So now you've heard about the good stuff, the healthcare, the free education and all
Yes.
that, right? But it's not only about the good stuff. We also have to look at the reality checks because like we emphasized earlier, it's not always good. There are
And
also things...
migrating to another country is not a small decision that you
Definitely.
make in your life. It's a big move.
It's a life-changing decision. And I think when you have family and you have kids, it's even more serious. So be very, very careful and always take information with a grain of salt. Now we're going to go through the reality check from our friend in Alberta, Quay Evano. Let's watch this.
Hello to all the friends and supporters of Illustrado magazine. My name's Quay Evano. I'm a Filipino Canadian. I live here in the city of Calgary. You can see my banner there. I'm here in the basement of my house, in my music room. See my parol. I'm Filipino, so of course we need to have a parol, and of course upstairs I have my own karaoke. I live in Dubai for almost 10 years. I lived there from 2002 to 2011, and then my wife and my 2 kids and I migrated to Canada in August of 2011. So we've been here 7 years, and we've been Canadian since 2015. My Illustrado friends have asked if I could talk about 5 realities of life in Canada. First one is that the place where you're going to live in Canada or where you're going to stay, it depends on where you find a job and where you have friends or relatives. So usually you try to find where you need to have a support system. We landed in Vancouver, but then we moved to Calgary because my wife's aunt moved here. And then she enticed us and told us that there are more jobs in Calgary as compared to Vancouver, and then Vancouver has only 5% tax as compared to Vancouver. It has 13, if I believe. Toronto has 13, Saskatchewan has 10. So different provinces in Canada have different taxes. So we moved here and we just fell in love with the place. When it comes to jobs, I'm talking about jobs. So in the first few months or first few years here, you won't be able to you might not be able to get back into your old profession, and that's normal. I work as a sales staff for a clothing store during the day, and then in the afternoon I would work as a music teacher in a music studio. On weekends I would do my graphic design, freelance jobs. I'm also a reporter for the Filipino channel ABS-CBN. So it's normal for you to have several jobs here in Canada, to keep the money going para hindi ma-deplete yung savings, so that your savings from Dubai or from the Middle East, there will still be savings, hindi nyo sila masyado magamit. But it depends on each family. So talking about jobs, you want to go back to your old profession. That's when continuing education comes in, and your credentials. You have to, if you're in the field of medicine or engineering or other careers that need licenses, then you have to pass the licenses here in Canada. Many credentials back in the Middle East and the Philippines are not accepted here. As for me, I'm a graphic designer, reporter, and photographer, musician, blah blah blah. So I don't need those licenses, but I've got friends who they had to go back to school or take more exams and such for licenses. But that's part of Canada. Make sure that the best people are able to pass their exams and be able to go back to their profession. So other pointers, the weather. Sanay kayo dyan sa Middle East, sa init. I've experienced in the Middle East plus 50 degrees Celsius, and here I've experienced minus 45 degrees Celsius. It's super cold, and you'd experience like mild frostbites on your hands, feet, face. Summer we went to 36.5, so it's been the hottest summer so far in Calgary or in Alberta. So our weather here is extreme, so we have lots of different clothing, jackets, shoes for different types of weather here. Here in Calgary, we have a joke na we can experience all 4 seasons in one day, and I've seen that. Because we're high up in the mountains. I've seen rain, then direct heat, very sunny weather, and then rain, and then hail, and then snow, and then by the afternoon it's gone. So it's just sometimes confusing with what you're wearing or what. So we used to carry a bag full of different jackets, but then you get used to it, so you just carry one jacket lang. And believe me, you get used to the cold. Believe me, masanay din kayo. Canada talks about the mosaic of diversity. It allows, the country is so welcoming. Speak your own language, speak your own cultures, practice your own faith and religion. Canada is so open about that as compared to America's melting pot. But for Canada, different peoples, different cultures come together and form Canada, and we're good that way. I'm in different bands here. I have three bands here, and we all come from different countries. Some of them are French Canadians, from Ukraine, from Germany. Yung mga roots nila, their ancestors, so they know that we all come from different places in the world, and that's what makes us Canadians. It's a totally different culture from the Philippines and the Middle East. The political system here is so transparent. There's hardly any corruption. If there's corruption here, they get caught, and they serve time in jail and everything. So it's very transparent, everything. You have very good healthcare here, very good, tremendous, good free education for the kids until they finish high school. We got savings. We have what you call RESP, savings for the kids when they go to university. The government also gives some money in your savings for your kids' education. So it's an amazing country. I've been fortunate here to be here for 7 years now, and I've said I've been a Filipino Canadian for 3 years now. So to anyone who wants to migrate to Canada, I think it's a good step. It's a good country to be in. If you have further questions, just ask our friends in Illustrado. They can give you my email. As I've said, I'm Quay Evano. I'm a journalist, photographer, musician, and just your everyday average friend. Yun na lang. Okay. Good night. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the 5 reality checks in living in Canada by our friend Quay Evano.
In Alberta. We'll get into that, but let's mention about the contest first.
If you just tuned in, we are giving away one voucher worth 500 dirhams care of Sukhothai here at
you
the
can bring
Meridian
4
Dubai.
friends, right?
Yeah, bring 3 friends. It's a voucher
okay,
for
for 4 people.
So yeah, all you have to do is answer the question in the comment section. If you're going to move to another country, where would you go and why? Don't forget to use the hashtag Sukhothai DXB and the Meridian Dubai.
Right, yeah. And greetings to Mirna Malinit, Malu Prado. Hi Malu. Kat Cuaderno and NN Garcia.
And our Garcia would like to see your work as part of our scrapbook. He is also a member of our rock band,
the rock community in Dubai,
here
right.
in Dubai.
Yeah, so going back to the reality check, so there we have it, folks, the good and the bad. So I think what stood out for me on what Quay was talking about is that you really have to be willing to start fresh, in the career ladder. So even if you are doing a managerial job, if you were in an executive position before in Dubai and you move to Canada, you have to start from scratch. So I think that's a non-negotiable because you have to gain Canadian experience, right? So if you're not willing to do that, that's a problem. It might not be for you, right? And you have to learn from their perspective. Whatever you've gained outside is basically nothing. So you have to start all over again.
Yeah, and if you're up for that, and then
go for it if you're up for that. And we have a lot of information on how you can apply for immigration in Canada. We've got our immigration experts
from the immigration office in Dubai.
In Dubai, just
And
after,
I see Bobby Carella coming in.
so Bobby Carella finally found us. But anyway, right before we get into our immigration interview, we'll change the tone a little bit and look into Illustrado Fashion Retro.
From immigration topics now, we just showed you our beautiful, beautiful fashion editorials, and we have a big announcement to make.
Yeah, we're gonna be coming out with our big fashion issue in September, so watch out for that. It's the biggest ever collection of hot Filipino designers, not only from the UAE, but from all across the globe. So watch out for that. We're going to be unveiling that at the end of September. And before I introduce our guest, I'd like to say happy birthday to Ezra Santos, our dear Ezra. Happy birthday, best wishes to you. And belated happy birthday to Michael Cinco. I hope you guys are there and you're happy and you're doing well. And happy birthday, best wishes.
Belated happy birthday to me as well.
Belated happy birthday to you. Right, it's not your birthday, Oana.
No, not unfortunately not this one.
Okay, so we've got Oana Radu and Gonzalo Ang from the immigration office in Dubai, and there are experts on the topic today.
Oana is the marketing and operations manager of the immigration office, and Gonzalo is there for client services, right?
Right. So I think, yeah, a lot of people are probably dying, and this is the most basic question that we wanted to ask. So how do we actually immigrate to Canada? How does one get to immigrate to Canada?
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? What's the basic?
Starting 2015, Canada has implemented a system that's called Express Entry. And this Express Entry is an online system where you can have several visa categories that you can apply for. If you are outside of Canada and you have never been in Canada studying or on a work permit, then you have two options. There is a federal skilled worker visa category, and there's a provincial nomination visa category. So that's where you start. This is the two programs that you're supposed to be looking into if you're outside of Canada and thinking about migrating there.
Right. I think on the other side, if you're a business owner and you wanted to set up a business, right, there's also a path for that?
Yes.
If you're an entrepreneur?
Yes, there's an entrepreneur and there's an investment stream as well.
Okay.
So as long as you want to go directly and set up your own business in Canada, then you can also do that.
Right. What are the requirements? How does somebody know that they are qualified to apply for these things?
So actually, there are three basic requirements when it comes to immigration to Canada. First one is you have to meet the eligibility points, which is computed based on the human capital factors. Second is that you have to have an occupation, which is part of the list. So there's a list of occupations which are currently in demand in Canada.
Okay.
And lastly, you need to have the proof of funds.
Okay.
So for the eligibility points, so as I was saying, it will be computed based on your human capital factors. So your age, your education, your work experience, your probably the results of your English language examination.
Okay.
Okay, and if you meet the points, that's the time you can be in the system. You can.
Sorry to cut you, Gonzalo. When we're talking about education, what kind of education are we talking about here? Do I have to be a PhD, degree holder? I mean, what's the educational requirement
because
there?
there's a different educational system back home for Filipinos, and there's a different computation for that when they try to migrate to Canada. So can you please elaborate on this?
So for example, if you're applying for this one, you would need to have at least a diploma, a 1-year diploma or a degree after high school. That will be the minimum requirement in terms of education. education.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the equivalency of the degree, I'll let Wanda discuss about it.
Okay, I think that's a big deal, right? We were
Yes,
talking about
so
that
this
earlier.
is an important part in the application, and if you've studied in the Philippines, the first thing that you need to understand is that the Philippine education system has you complete the 10th and then you go for university, whereas in Canada you complete 12th as the level of your high school, and then you go for a university degree. Depending on the university where you studied in the Philippines, your equivalency might be as a bachelor's or it may be as a diploma. So this is the first step that you need to take in order to know what is the right path for you. People that have graduated a diploma and they have a diploma equivalency are most suitable for a provincial nomination program, whereas the ones that have a bachelor's equivalency will have an easy time in the process under federal skilled worker.
Okay, right. Let's go to age requirements then. You were talking about age requirements. What kind of ages are we looking at here?
So the younger, the better actually. Well, the cutoff age will be around 47 years old.
Okay.
So by the time you get 47, you're not going to get points and any
Okay.
points from the age.
All right, but the younger you are, the more points you get.
Yes, the reason the government of Canada, they're inviting immigrants is that they would like these immigrants to help their economy boost. So meaning, if you're gonna get there, gonna reach the country, you'll be able to work more if you're younger. You're gonna
Okay.
pay taxes for longer.
So I think that's a very important point to reiterate there. Canada will take you if you can contribute to the Canadian economy, right?
Exactly.
So it's not just about going there taking benefits, because that defeats the purpose of the immigration program, right?
Exactly. The entire concept of immigration is for them to help boost the economy. That's why you get the entire privilege that a Canadian citizen would have. But in the same time, you need to contribute with your part.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about work experience then. What kind of work experience do you have to present?
So normally, as I've said, there's a list of occupations which are in demand. So the occupations which are high in demand in Canada will be nurses, professionals in IT industry, engineers, and what more?
Everything that's related to finance, business administration, admin support, you're going to find it in the list. If, for example, you're in an entry-level career, you work in a restaurant or you work as a customer service representative, you'll be able to apply in the moment when you get to a more senior position, for example, a supervisor or a team leader role.
I see, okay. What about students? Can they migrate to Canada? I mean, is there a path that you study and then, that opens doors for permanent residency?
As long as you've studied in Canada or if you studied outside of Canada, the requirements for permanent residency programs are exactly the same. You still need to have a minimum 1 year, 12 months of experience full-time after completion of your studies.
Okay, all right. I mean, we've heard about a lot of Filipino kids, for example, going to university in Canada. What opportunities do they have?
Studying in Canada gives you a great benefit. If you go for a 3 or 4 years program, for example, this leads to a 3 or 4 years work permit. So you don't need to exit Canada upon completion of your studies. You can actually continue living there, working there.
Okay.
And in the moment when you have 1 year of experience, then you can easily go through another path, which is called the Canadian Experience Class.
Okay, all right. That sounds interesting.
Guys, if you just tuned in, we are with the representatives from the immigration office here in Dubai. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. We'll try to get to it. And if you have specific questions, you can always reach out to them. Before we dig into the details, I'd like to say hi to Erwin Liandok, Erich Minyoza, Sunshine Bernal is also watching, Alex Wang is also watching, Beverly Jones, Summer Montefalco, JC Brigoli, and Kay Karenina.
Right. I'm dying to ask this question. Is there a situation where you would advise people not to apply for immigration at all?
This is an important question, and we actually do this quite often. Unfortunately, people have a bit of knowledge about the eligibility points when it comes to applying for immigration, but they don't really know the selection criteria. And in the federal skilled worker, that's a ranking score. If you've ever inquired about immigration and you want to know your ranking score, that is very easy to find out. If your ranking score is below 400 points, the entire system of express entry has never selected anyone below that score. So if we see that someone would rank below 400 points, we advise them to consider other options, either other countries or other programs.
Okay, so it's really not for everybody. I think, once again, we are reiterating that you have to be very, very careful, right?
Yes, and one of the major factors in immigration, and I know this is going to be somehow a painful topic to a lot of applicants, is the English test.
Okay,
The
tell
English
us about
test
that.
is vital. For example, a difference in between scoring a 7 and being on a proficient level in the English test and scoring a 6, which is going to be a competent user, is basically almost 100 points in the ranking score. So we encourage people to take their time and seriously prepare for the English test.
Okay, so what kind of grade or what kind of score are we aiming for English then?
For an applicant that would be under 40 and he's targeting the federal skilled worker visa, I would strongly suggest a minimum 7 in
At least
the
a 7,
component.
right?
Yes, 7.
At least a 7, because 6 is like you just barely passed.
Yes,
Is that
6,
what we're
6
saying?
is
Yeah.
the minimum requirement of the system.
All right, okay. I mean, how can people reach you? How can they consult you and avail of your services?
I think the easiest way to reach us is just search our Facebook page, the immigration office, send us a message, and we'll be able to take it from there.
Again, guys, that's on Facebook. That's the Immigration Office. So yeah, if you want to know more information, just reach out to them, send them a message.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think we need to highlight here, because there are a lot of people who are considering to migrate, but one thing that they should really look for is the legitimacy of the firm.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. So, as you know, the immigration consultancy spectrum is pretty broad when it comes to going online and looking for a consultant. One very important detail that you need to look for is make sure they are licensed by the ICCRC, which is the Immigration Council of Canada, and they are an RCIC, which is a regulated Canadian Immigration Council.
All
That
right.
is the only way where you know that you're in good hands and the person that's representing you is actually authorized by the Canadian government to do so.
Because I think a lot of questionable firms or groups are operating out there, and because there's this tremendous interest in migrating, they're taking advantage of that. You're receiving these text messages left, right, and
Yes.
center. It's like, get a visa within, 3 months or something, promising all these things.
But one good tip or advice that I would be suggesting to our clients as well is that you need to do your due diligence here. So internet is very accessible. You can check always the review in Facebook, in social media accounts, and if they have an official website, so you'll be able to learn more about this.
So don't just believe whatever is pushed there, and if it's it's a quick solution, because it isn't so.
It isn't, and just like any other good thing in life, it's not that easy. So
Yes.
it takes a bit of hard work.
But I
Do
think,
your
yeah.
research, because it's a big move. You're migrating to a new country. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think when you've done it and you've succeeded, then it's worth it, right?
Exactly.
Any final word, guys, before we wrap this up?
One important detail that I want to mention is for people to know that from the moment you got a permanent residency, you don't need to pack up and move the next day. You have up to 1 year time to go and do your first entry, and then 3 years to actually relocate there.
Okay.
So if you're in the position where your age is good, but you're still under a contract, or you think you want to relocate your children for their next level of education, do it while it's possible, and then plan ahead. Don't just pack and move immediately. This is
All right.
something that
So
I
you
would
can
advise people.
take your time, do your due diligence, and do your homework properly.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you very much, Oana and Gonzalo. And guys, if you have any questions, you can either put them in the comment section or reach out to the immigration office, and they have a Facebook page. Please send them a message, right? I hope this was useful for you. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you for having
us. Just to change the tone a bit, we're going to be showing you our Illustragrammers who are so fabulous. Please watch the video.
And yeah, we just showed you the double tap worthy photos on Instagram.
Double tap worthy.
Double tap worthy, because these Instagrammers are very amazing. First up, we have Kate Rivera, who is a filmmaker, photographer, videographer who's based here in Dubai. So if you want to see like cinematic photos and like cinematic video edits, go over to her Instagram page. We also have Ida Anduya, who is based in the Philippines, very stylish. So if you want like the 90s vibe, retro color, and a lot of tips on styling and references, inspiration, head over to her Instagram page. We also have another Filipino-Iranian rapper who's based here. His Instagram is Sikatomi Sharapu.
What?
Sikatomi Sharapu, but he is known in the community as Izzy.
Okay.
Listen to his music on YouTube. He has very, very amazing rapping skills.
Right.
And of course we also have Steph Alino, who is also based in Manila. He's a model and a lot of fashion inspirations to see in his Instagram page.
Right, super. Some of those names I can't even pronounce.
Sikatomi Sharapu.
But anyway, thank you guys for participating. And if you know of any people we should be featuring in Illustragrammers, please do message us. And now we have a very special guest from the Le Méridien Dubai Hotel. We'd like to call on Chef Dominic Petzold, who is the complex executive chef. Chef Dominic, please join us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chef Dominic, oh, sorry. It's a tight fit. Chef,
That's all right.
Chef, what do we have to eat here at the fabulous Le Méridien Dubai? Tell us about the food.
Well, we talk about Sukhothai for today.
Okay.
So we have Sukhothai is a traditional Thai restaurant. Basically, what they do is that they produce Thai food from all over Thailand, and all the food is homemade and handmade.
Wow. All right.
And these are all authentic.
This is
Authentic
all
Thai dishes.
pure, authentic Thai dishes.
Now I know that Dubai has got its fair share of Thai restaurants, but Sukhothai is multi-awarded. How did you guys manage to do that? What makes it very special?
Well, first we have to say we have 3 Thai chefs in the kitchen. So every time when they come back from home, you can say it, right? They always come up with very exciting new things they have seen at home.
Even the chefs are authentic.
all the way.
That's very important, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they take new inspirations from home and bring it here to the Le Méridien, right?
Yes, but then, for example, they come up like just recently, our head chef, he came back from vacation, so there is like street food in Thailand is very famous.
Wow.
So he has seen some things there, and now he bought it here and makes it. He turns it around into for the restaurant dishes. So they always come back with new ideas and stuff. So
I know.
we're working hard for it.
It sounds good, and it's making me hungry. And make us a little bit more hungrier, Chef. Tell us about the kind of food that we can have here. What type of dishes do you have here?
Okay.
What are your specialties,
The specialities?
or favorites? Right.
Okay, first we need to say all the curries are all handmade and homemade.
Okay.
So all the curry paste and everything is all handmade and
So
homemade.
nothing instant, right?
Nothing instant.
It's a shame to use instant, right? Crying shame. Everything's handmade.
Not in a restaurant,
Yeah, of
for a
course.
hotel you should make
Definitely.
everything handmade and homemade.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what is quite the good seller or famous among the guests is the green curry, the pad thai.
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai all the
Yeah.
way every day.
I can have Pad Thai every single day, so. Yeah.
And then we have chow mang, what is a Thai chicken dumpling, what looks like a flour. So it's made with rice flour, and it's used the color from the butterfly pea. What is a Thai herb? So they take the color from there, mix it with the rice flour, so it looks like a little purple flour, but it's actually chicken dumpling. That's quite liked by our customers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, and
Anything
then
else?
at
Yeah.
the moment we have curry promotion. So as soon as we're done, we have some items ready for you to try.
Okay, wow.
So we do green curry, red curry, masaman, we do panang, what's a dry red curry,
Okay.
roasted duck curry, and then since it's all handmade and homemade, so basically you kind of can choose how you want it. Like normally it's the green chicken curry, but if you
Okay.
want to have it with duck or with beef here, because we make it all fresh to order, so you can choose the way you like it.
Yeah, guys, so if you are in love with curry, they have a current promotion. It's running until the 31st of August, and that's for only 109 dirhams here at Sukhothai at Le Méridien, Dubai.
And I think we do have a winner for today,
And
right?
yes, as promised, we have a winner. Her name is Sunshine Bernal. She said that she would love to move to Singapore because she'd stay there for a week and she's enjoyed her experiences. The weather is overwhelming. The fact that it's not far from our beloved country, the Philippines, is really a big factor because you can have a big chance to go home anytime. So anytime you feel homesickness, book that flight, go home to the Philippines, go back to Singapore and hustle. So congratulations to Sunshine Berna. And you won a voucher worth 500 dirhams. Bring 3 friends with you. The voucher is good for 4. Try out amazing food here at Sukhothai at the Meridian, Dubai.
Chef, any last words? Anything you would like to, invite the people out there? Anything you would want to
Please
say?
come.
Yeah.
We welcome you. We have curry all day, lunch and dinner. Just come. We welcome every guest, and we want to make sure you try our authentic Thai food in Sukhothai, Le Meridian, Dubai.
Thank you very much for hosting us, Chef. And it's a fabulous place. Please do visit Sukhothai, Le Meridian, Dubai, and there are other cuisines here also if you would like to try. So yeah, come on over. Thank you very much, Chef Dominic Petzold. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you for having me.
And right, guys, before we wrap up, we would like to thank again our sponsors for today, Liali Jewelry, Giver, your friendly marketplace for sharing, and of course, Le Meridian Dubai and Sukhothai for making this another nice, great, super episode.
Today's woman wears liali.
Need something? Don't buy, get it free instead. Welcome to Giver. Everything is free, just pay delivery. Have useful stuff gathering dust in your closet? Don't trash it, give it away. Just good old giving and taking, made easy for you. That's good for the heart, and good for the planet. Giver, your friendly marketplace for sharing. Give and take for a better world.
So guys, we hope that you had a very useful session with us. We hope you got a lot of information. And once again, just to recap on our message, the world is your oyster. You know, it's a big globalized world out there.
The world is your
oyster.
But I'm allergic to seafood.
Alwi is allergic to seafood. But anyway, the fact is, it's a globalized world. You can choose wherever you want to migrate to as long as you're qualified. There are a lot of benefits out there, but make sure that you understand also that it's not that easy. So do your homework, do your due diligence, and then go through the steps properly. Anything from you, Almi?
I just want to make pahabol for greetings. Saying hi to Marlon Malinaw, who's based in Kuwait. Jules Casabal. So
In
thank you,
Batangas.
in Batangas.
Hi,
Thank you so much for joining us. For me, my main takeaway for today is that migration is not an easy thing to do.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
not a piece of cake.
It's not a piece
It's your
of cake,
life. You're
right.
moving to another country, so make sure that you have the heart to do it. You're full-hearted in doing it, and yeah,
Make the right choice.
make the right choices.
And everywhere you go, always make the Philippines proud. And as we say in Illustrado,
Taas
Taas
noo
noo
Filipino.
Filipino. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.
Yay!